do you still love WikiLeaks?
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing.
WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. Did you see what came out over WikiLeaks? This WikiLeaks is like a treasure trove.
Yep, not his thing. New details in the Mueller report reveal the Trump campaign's eagerness, in fact, for WikiLeaks releases stolen by Russia against the Clinton campaign in 2016. The report saying, quote, the campaign expected it would benefit electorally from information stolen and released through Russian efforts. And according to Trump deputy campaign manager Rick Gates, the president told him more releases of damaging information would be coming. Joining me now is Michael Isikoff, chief investigative correspondent for Yahoo News and co-author of Russian Roulette, the inside story of Putin's war on America and the election of Donald Trump. You're the man to talk about this. It's nice to see you again, Michael. Thank you for joining me. You know, you have covered this WikiLeaks aspect. Is there something that gets revealed that you did not expect from this report? And was a lot of what you reported confirmed here?
Yes and yes. The details that you just highlighted there were a surprise because they went beyond what we had known before, although it was suggested in the Roger Stone indictment that there was a great deal of interest from the Trump campaign in what the WikiLeaks disclosures were. There's references to somebody senior in the Trump campaign reaching out to Roger Stone to find out what was going to be in the WikiLeaks disclosures. And now we learn pretty much that directive was coming, started with the president himself, that then candidate Trump was intensely interested in finding out what WikiLeaks was going to be releasing. In fact, that there was even testimony that from Paul Manafort that there was a whole strategy that the campaign was developing about how to use and exploit whatever WikiLeaks was going to disclose.
Why does it matter that the president knew about potential releases in advance?
It's not in and of itself a crime because the criminal act was the theft of the DNC emails by Russian intelligence that were then provided to WikiLeaks. You know, the broader way of looking at this is this was all a Russian intelligence operation, and that they were and that the president, then candidate Trump, was a part of it, that he was receptive to it, that he was trying to enhance the Russian intelligence operation to interfere in the election. Now, whether you can make, it's not clear you can make a criminal case about that, but in terms of taking a look at the whole picture of what was happening during the 2016 election, it's a pretty damning portrait of what the president was doing.
That redaction that follows Gates's claim about WikiLeaks, is that an ongoing investigation related to WikiLeaks?
I assume it's related to this upcoming Roger Stone trial, and that this is evidence that would be presented by the government in the Roger Stone trial.
Yeah, that makes sense. So beyond covering the WikiLeaks angle, Michael, you wrote an article in 2016 reporting that officials were investigating Carter Page, his possible sanction policy discussions with Russian officials. This article was cited in the Mueller report. First of all, did you know you were going to be in the report? I mean, did even the nature of your mention, did that surprise you?
I didn't know what to expect from the Mueller report, so it was interesting to see it there. It was the first story to suggest, to report that there was an ongoing investigation to somebody related to the Trump campaign during the 2016 election. So it was noteworthy, for that reason alone. The Carter Page matter was, one of the initial items that the FBI was investigating as part of its counterintelligence investigation, because, as you know, Alex, I mean, he had been on the FBI's radar screen before. He had had contacts with Russian intelligence operatives. He had made a trip to Moscow in July 2016 after being named as part of the Foreign Policy Advisory Board of candidate Trump. And one of the things the report makes clear, and this is very interesting, is that invitation to Moscow came about because because of his role in the Trump campaign. That's what put them on the page. That was what led to the invitation for that trip to Moscow, where he did have discussions with Russian officials.
Another place of Michael Isikoff prominence, if you will, the reference by WikiLeaks in 2018 about the Steele dossier. They did it via tweet here. Of course, that was also mentioned in the Mueller report. But did you find the conclusions about the Steele dossier in the Mueller report to your satisfaction, or do you think there's still a lot of unanswered questions?
Well, yes, there are clearly a lot of unanswered questions. There was one of the sensational allegations in the Steele dossier that's addressed directly, and that is Michael Cohen, the claim that he went to Moscow and met with Russian officials about paying off hackers. And the report definitively states that that's not true, that Cohen did not go to Prague at the time that meeting was supposed to have taken place. Look, I think there's still a lot more we need to learn, but more and more, the Steele dossier made a lot of claims that just haven't panned out, and I think people have to start recognizing that although it got a lot of people excited, it set expectations very high, and it made a lot of sensational allegations that, here we are more than 2 years later, just either have been disproven, as in that case, or remain unproven and are likely to remain unproven. Well,
listen, I'm always excited to talk with you, Michael Isikoff. Come see me again soon. Thank you so much.
Sure enough, anytime.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.